Going on, everyone? Luka Doncic and LeBron James. They are like two peas in a pod. I mean, ever since Luka has came into the league, he's been compared to LeBron in so many ways, and they do have a lot of similarities. Now, Luka still has a long way to go before he becomes an all-time great and things like that. Although some people already write him off as a Hall of Famer and stuff, he is an incredible talent and an incredible player, and I love watching him play. He's one of my favorite players in the league, but let's give him a little time. Let's see what he does in this league, win some championships. He got to a Western Conference Finals. That's wonderful. That's great. Let's see him get to the next level before we, Sherlock him into a Hall of Fame career. But he really is. He's an incredible talent, and I really do think that he will be an all-time great Hall of Famer. I think it's just, a matter of time. But LeBron and Luka are always prime time, right? That is a matchup that you always want to see. It's must-see TV. People love to see the two of them just duking it out and going at it. And so it makes sense that a report came out that the early Christmas Day game, again, this is just a rumored report that came out from Mark Stein, that Luka and LeBron will be facing off for Christmas Day. Now, Christmas is a huge day for basketball, right? You sit around with the friends, the family, after you open presents, do all that stuff. Go, you watch the NBA, you got games on all day, and they're usually like the primetime games, right? The matchups that we wait to see, the big showdowns, things like that. And when it comes to Luka and LeBron going at it, the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers, it makes sense that you would have them face off on Christmas. Now, as much as that would be great, if Kyrie Irving goes to the Lakers and Kevin Durant goes to the Boston Celtics, which is probably one of the reasons why the NBA has not leaked that information yet, why the NBA hasn't put out like the schedule, because they usually have it done by this point. They have an understanding, an idea of what's to come. I think it's because they're waiting to see. If Kevin Durant goes to the Boston Celtics and Kyrie Irving goes to the Lakers, you can guarantee, or just about guarantee, because nothing is a guarantee, but you can pretty much guarantee that the Celtics and the Lakers are going to play each other on Christmas Day. It's going to happen. There is no way that doesn't happen. It would be just box office for them. It would be huge for just revenue and watch time and all that stuff that they need, all the analytics. Like, it would make all the sense in the world, especially if it's the first matchup between these two. The whole world would be watching. To see Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant going at it, the Lakers-Celtics rivalry, maybe a potential finals matchup, which, again, would be fantastic. Like, you can't write a better story than Kyrie goes to the Lakers, Kevin Durant goes to the Celtics. They meet each other in the NBA Finals. You got the Lakers-Celtics rivalry. The winner is the tiebreaker for number 18 in the championship. You have the two buddies going at it. You have LeBron and Kevin Durant going at it. You have LeBron and his history with the Celtics. Like, it's just, you can't write a better script, a better story. But I don't think that this is set in stone. I think that's why it was reported as a rumor or just something that like may happen. Not like, here's a Christmas Day leak. Here you go. Here's some information. I just don't think that the NBA is going to lock themselves into that until they see what happens with Kevin Durant, what happens with Kyrie Irving, what happens with Donovan Mitchell, stuff like that. Like if Donovan Mitchell goes to the Knicks, then, you probably have the Knicks and somebody duking it out. Obviously, if the Nets, if let's say they keep Kyrie and Kevin Durant, then, Nets will probably get a Christmas Day game. If they have neither of them, they probably don't get a Christmas Day game. So there's still a lot of things up in the air, a lot of unknown and mystery before the NBA is going to say, yeah, here's a Luka LeBron game day. Now, I do think that might be the plan as of right now. Like, it might be like, hey, let's have a big showdown with LeBron and Luka, primetime, must see, it'll be the primetime game, middle of the afternoon, something like that. Like, have these two just going at it. I do imagine the Mavericks are going to be really good, depending on what the Lakers got going on. I think the Lakers have potential to be pretty solid. I think Christian Wood, the acquisition of him, and JaVale McGee, I think are going to be really underrated in many people's eyes. I think people are sleeping on Christian Wood and JaVale McGee with Luka, because I just think Luka is going to make both those guys so much better. They added size, which they could have used, which they needed. And Christian Wood was already, a 2010 guy, basically, that now gets to play with a guy like Luka, who's going to be able to set him up and put him in position unlike anything he's ever done before. It's just going to be so much easier for Christian Wood. So I think that that's going to be a huge plus for the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, we got to see what's going on with Westbrook and the Lakers. The Lakers are going to get a primetime game on Christmas Day. That's going to happen, just how it works. LeBron James is going to get a Christmas Day game. Whether you love the Lakers or hate the Lakers, or, you love LeBron or hate LeBron, you're going to watch that game. It doesn't matter. It's just how it works. You got LeBron James on the Lakers. He's getting a Christmas Day game. He's gotten a Christmas Day game every year, and it's not going to change as long as he is in the league. And so the Lakers are going to play somebody. And Dallas does make a lot of sense. You have the old legend in LeBron James against the new legend in Luka Doncic. You got the similar players, similar styles, all of that. Their games are usually really good. And, LeBron and Luka kind of going down to the wire. Like, that's what you hope for. That's what you're rooting for. But I do think it makes a lot of sense, although a lot of people want a different type of game. I've seen a lot of people talk about the Clippers. Like, why not have a Battle of LA on Christmas, which, again, is another possibility, especially if the Lakers get Kyrie. If the Lakers end up getting Kyrie, I could see them playing the Clippers. Like, that could be a pretty interesting game. But I think it's just the idea and allure of Luka versus LeBron. As much as like a Battle of LA would be awesome on Christmas, I think the Luka, LeBron, especially if Dallas is really good, especially if the Lakers end up getting Kyrie, if like both of these teams are like close in the standings and stuff, like let's say the Mavs are like the 3 or 4 seed and the Lakers are like the 4 or 5 seed, something like that. Because I think even with Kyrie, Lakers are still going to be 4 to 5 seed very likely, because they're not going to care about the regular season. They just want to get to the playoffs. So they're not going to be like some of these younger teams that are trying to get the 1 seed, stuff like that. They're just going to be trying to coast and keep everybody healthy going into playoff time. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Anthony Davis, LeBron versus Kawhi and Paul George, but the Clippers, as much as it pains me to say, they've owned the Lakers the last few years. I mean, they've won something like 10 straight games or 8 straight games against the Lakers. So that's another thing that they have to factor in. Will the game come down to the wire? Is the Clippers just that team that has the Lakers number? I don't think that's the case. I think if they met in the playoffs, it would be a different story. But, you'd never really know until it actually happens. But this would be another really great game. I just think that Luka and LeBron would be more must-see, more blockbuster. The promotion for that, especially if both teams are really good, or at least, both teams are half decent. I could see them being that, even if they don't end up with Kyrie, even if it's just, the team that they have now. But let's say they can figure it out and put it together, and they're like I said, the 4 or 5 seed. You got Luka and the Mavs are like the 3 or 4 seed, and it's like they're separated by like 2 games. You're going to see them duke it out. You're going to see them go at it, and I think that that's probably the best case. I think the only way the Mavs and Lakers change is if Kyrie Irving goes to the Lakers and Kevin Durant goes to the Celtics. Or even if Kevin Durant just goes to the Celtics, I could see them having a Lakers-Celtics rivalry, because Kevin Durant and LeBron James would be another really nice kind of showdown. Davis, LeBron versus Tatum, KD, like that kind of thing. I could see that being a scenario too. But I think unless that happens, we're going to be looking at a Dallas Lakers Christmas Day game. But as always, I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think about Dallas versus Lakers, Luka versus LeBron? Do you think, that's the game? It's Christmas, must see, got LeBron, Luka, the 2 faces in many ways of the league. Have them go at it, have them duke it out. Let's see what happens type thing. That's must-see TV. Or do you think, no, Lakers should play somebody else, Dallas should play somebody else, or maybe Dallas should play, the Clippers or the Warriors or something? I think a Warriors-Mavs matchup would be kind of cool too, facing each other after the NBA Finals. The beauty of the NBA is there's so many teams that you can make an argument for. and matchups we'd want to see and stuff like that for Christmas. So, I mean, that's always a good sign. But I do think these two face off Christmas unless the Celtics and the Lakers get Kyrie and KD. If that ends up happening, I just think I don't see a scenario where they don't have that on Christmas Day. Because Christmas Day is such a big day for the NBA. I just don't see them going a different route than that. But those are my thoughts and opinions. And as always, I'd love to hear yours. Let me know down in the comments. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, follow by the bell notification, stay up to date with all things sports, join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.